Welcome to All Things Business. Once again, we've got a couple of new changes coming in, regulation changes for insolvency, but also a fabulous possible grant coming for general advice to help all businesses post-COVID. So we've invited Adam Parkinson from TWR Advisory, one of our great partners, for his expertise in these two areas. So welcome, Adam. Thank you for coming.
Oh, thanks for having us. Nice to see you again. And look, happy to try and shed some light on some of the new things that are happening in our post-COVID world or mid-COVID world.
Brilliant, brilliant. Thank you for that. So I've got a couple of questions here and I'm going to hand over to you now. So firstly, my understanding in some very exciting news that may be coming through is that there's a possibility there'll be a $5,000 grant for businesses to seek advice and get some health checks done post-COVID to possibly make some changes and make them stronger for next year. Can you share a bit about that possible information coming?
Yeah, that's right. The Small Business Ombudsman has been pushing now for quite a while for a voucher system for small businesses in Australia. As you probably know, most small businesses, they don't seek advice because advice is relatively expensive. So if you're a small or really small business, then $5,000 on advice goes a long way. And I suppose the message that the Small Business Ombudsman is trying to get out, and certainly the message that we try and get out to people, is seek advice. Don't be afraid of seeking advice. Make sure that you take those steps. They're not as scary and probably not as expensive as most people think.
Wonderful. Now, my understanding is TWR will probably qualify for these vouchers. What type of advice can TWR provide under this type of grant basis to a small business?
So TWR specialises in, first of all, assessing the viability of a business and making sure that the structure and the bones of the business have got the capability to continue and to continue making money, most importantly. We can review all things from the underlying business model, customer segments, market positioning, all those types of things, all the way through to detailed financial modelling and trying to assist with businesses getting finance and all those types of things. Cash flow is the thing that's killed lots and lots of businesses throughout COVID, and I know everybody that I know, including us, have all suffered some cash flow hits as a result of COVID.
That's all right. So a small business really could get basically like a full future plan for this voucher value.
Yeah, look, a small business, let's say a business with probably anywhere up to a couple of $1 million worth of turnover, could get a really, really solid future roadmap as to how their business looks for that $5,000. We've got the ability to generate that stuff quite cost effectively, but also very tailored.
Brilliant. Sounds exciting. When would we possibly know that this is going to happen?
Look, we're expecting an announcement any day now. It's sort of coinciding at the moment with some other regulatory changes that are around. So we don't quite have a date, but the federal government and all of the state governments at the moment, all across the country, are spruiking the idea of some form of voucher system for small business, which I think is a great thing.
Yeah, that's fabulous. So what we'll do for our listeners here is that we'll put a pre-registration link. So perhaps they can just let you know they're interested to take advantage. And that way you can contact them once the voucher system is approved. Now, one of the other things that was coming out, my understanding, is some insolvency changes for small to medium businesses, obviously to help them through after what's happened with COVID, to make things more friendly to to advise them to get back on their feet and not as costly as a standard liquidation process is.
Yeah, that's right. The small business insolvency rules have been an issue for quite a while now. I used to do formal insolvency work, and I don't do that anymore. I try and turn businesses around now instead of liquidating them. But TWR has a very necessary interplay with these insolvency laws. So, you know, we quite often advise businesses how to stay out of liquidation, but every now and then they need some really good advice on how to handle it. The profession has been pushing for a change to these rules for a long time, because we've all recognised that the current system is one, very, very expensive, and two, very complicated. And it's also really, really scary for the directors and business owners. I suppose they're trying to take some of the fear and trepidation out of business value, which I think is a really good thing, because in Australia, we're probably one of the only real capitalist countries in the world that has a massive stigma attached to business value, which I think is a mistake.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's great news. And again, is these changes come through, or is this something that is coming shortly as well?
Yeah, look, we've seen the draft legislation, and that's available for comment at the moment. So all of the peak bodies, through any profession that's involved, either directly or remotely to corporate insolvency, is commenting on this stuff at the moment. So Turnaround Management Association, which I'm a member of, are actively commenting. ARETA, which is the insolvency peak body, is commenting. Institute Chartered Accountants, everyone you can think of is commenting. Business groups, Small Business Ombudsman, they all get a right of response. But what we do know is that these laws are going into effect as at the 1st of January, regardless. So.
Okay, brilliant. Well, that's some really good news. And I would just like to obviously thank you for this valuable information that you've given all our listeners and viewers today. Once again, we'll put some links at the bottom of this, and reach out to TWR. And now is the time to get some advice, especially post-COVID, with the government looking after that as a payment program for you. So thanks, Adam. And we'll chat again soon. I'm sure there's more changes that will definitely be coming in the future as all governments respond post-COVID.
Thanks, Carolyn. Everyone jump on board for Movember too.
Well, I can't help you there, but hey, I'll make sure my husband does. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.